Welcome to the third session of the third module, that is the software architecture of the RTLab platform. So in the previous session, we have understood about the hardware architecture of the real-time simulator provided by OpenRT. Now the same company provides us with RTLab platform, which is actually an interface software between your Windows PC, that is the host PC, and the target PC. Okay, so let us understand more about this software platform. So this will be the outline of this session. We'll be talking about the system architecture, then how to use RTLab. So this is the various steps in which the RTLab function. So first of all, the first step is like adding a Simulink model. So previously, as I told you, so MATLAB is one of the design tools that is being used here for our design and analysis purpose. So we will be working with MATLAB. So it is mentioned here as Simulink model. So we'll add a Simulink model in RTLab environment. After adding the Simulink model, RTLab will help us to generate the executable C code. Okay, so this C code will then be transferred to the target, that is a real-time simulator. Then from that C code, it will actually extract the values, whether be it in a software part or be it hardwired channels. Okay, so to start RTLab, so whenever you install RTLab on your PC, you will be seeing an icon called as meta controller. Okay, so you just have to run this meta controller, okay, by right clicking on it and just opening it as an administrator. So you open the meta controller and just start RTLab. Once you open RTLab, as you can see from the slide, the first window, okay, it is the workspace directory. So what is the workspace directory? So basically, while working with RTLab, it allows you to actually create a copy of the model that you want to run on a real-time platform. For example, you have designed your model using MATLAB Simulink and this is saved in one of the drives of your PC. Maybe let it be like D drive, okay? So RTLab, whenever it is installed, whichever drive you install, whether C drive, D drive, it will automatically assign one directory for itself inside the same directory, same drive. Okay, like C drive we have installed RTLab, in the same drive it will assign a directory for itself. So when you are working with RTLab, so what will happen, for example, you have saved your Simulink model in D drive, then it will ask you to import that model from D drive to C drive. That means copy copy the file from D drive to C drive. Okay, so where it will be stored in the C drive, so this is the location where it will be storing the model. So there are two options. So you can actually import the model or link the model. Link the model means you can actually make the model work in the same directory, same folder where it has been saved, or you can import the model to the C drive to the workspace directory of RTLab and you can save it here. So we'll be talking about that in 2-3 slides later. So let us go step by step. So this is the workspace directory. So once you click OK, so what you will see, the next window will open up. So this window is basically dealing about the overview of RTLab. There are certain icons which you can actually follow to get the help files or like get an overview idea about the entire RTLab of functioning. Okay, so if you just click on like go to the workbench option, then the main window will open. So here you can see this is the main window of RTLab. So the left hand side, as it is written, this is the project explorer tab. The right hand side it is written, it is the editor tab, and below it we have the view tab. So what are the functions of these tabs? So basically on the left hand side, whatever we have, project explorer, this is basically the part where we'll be adding the MATLAB Simulink models, right? Then we'll go to the editor tab. So once we have added the MATLAB model, we can see the same model being opened in the editor tab. So what is the use of editor tab? Basically in RTLab you have an option to open the MATLAB and then open that particular model in the MATLAB. So instead you have not opened MATLAB, you just turned on your PC, you opened RTLab. Now you can from RTLab you can actually open MATLAB and it will automatically open the model that you have added inside RTLab. So that option is provided in RTLab, and it is always recommended that you open MATLAB from RTLab. Why? Because when you install RTLab on your PC, there are certain libraries that get installed with RTLab. Okay, so to name some, those libraries will be like Artemis, RTLab, RT events, which we'll be seeing in next sessions. Okay, what are they used for in detail. but as of now, just understand like these libraries will only get installed when you open MATLAB from RTLab. So first open RTLab, then you will see a small icon on the top of the RTLab environment. So from there you can open MATLAB, and the left hand side, whatever models you have saved, that can be edited from the same MATLAB environment. Okay, so that is basically the role of the editor tab to help you open the MATLAB model from RTLab. Then on the lower part is a view tab, which will be basically the processes that will happen. As I said, like creating the executable so C code, then transferring the source code to the target file. So all these processes will be displayed in the view tab. Okay. So this is again like how to use the help files. So what are the different topics that are being covered inside the help file? The help file basically comprises of the contents of like how to like the step-by-step procedure, which we'll be discussing in our next sessions, okay, in the later slides. So the step-by-step, like how to configure a MATLAB model for real-time application, how to open RTLab, how to install RTLab, all this guide is there with the RTLab help file. So now the first step after opening RTLab is creating a project. Okay. So for example, I am using RTLab today. So I will create a project for my uh, own operations, like whatever MATLAB model I want to work with. Maybe like I need to work with a renewable energy model, a power system network model, or an electric vehicle model. So I'll create a project of my name and I'll add all those models inside that particular project, right? So then whenever there is a requirement of working with the power system model or powertronics model, we can open that particular model and work on it. So the first step is creating a project. Okay. So if you go to the top of the slide, as you can see in the slide itself, it is mentioned very clearly. On the top there is a files tab. If you go to the files tab, there is something called as create RTLab project. So once you click on it, so you will see the next window. Okay, on this window you can actually see a space where you can actually mention the name of the project. Okay, next, so this window is actually showing you the different demos that will get installed on your PC when you install RTLab. Okay, so once you install RTLab, all these demos will be freely downloadable and it will get installed automatically. So now you can actually add one of these demos if you are wishing or willing to work with that demo. Otherwise you can add your own model in case you want to add your own model. So what we will do, we'll just skip this step, we'll just go click on finish. That's it. Okay, so now our project will get created. Now how to add a model, right? So we can add a model from the same files tab. We'll go to the files tab, okay, and there you will see add new model. So you can add directly model from there. Now you can see whenever we went to the files tab, then add new model. Okay, once you click that, so this is the next window you will see over here. So as I said, this will give you an option to either import the model from whichever drive you have saved your Simulink model, or you can actually link the RTLab directory to that particular model. Okay, so this is how the new model is added into RTLab directory. So you can first create a project, then you bring a model into the RTLab directory, then the next step is like edit the model. So you can actually right click on the model which has been now assigned into the project, and you will see like edit with option. Okay, so there are the various MATLAB versions which are installed on your PC and are compatible with OpenRT environment, this RTLab software. So the different version, okay, talking about the version, you can work with the latest versions of MATLAB if you're using the latest RTLab release, right? So you can see there are certain MATLAB versions installed on that particular PC is shown over here. Like these are the versions which is compatible to the RTLab file. Okay. Now the next step is adding a target. So the first step was adding a project, next adding a model, now adding the target. So what is a target? The real-time simulator. Then how do we detect the target? Like every PC has its own IP address. The target is again another PC only. Okay, so it has a processor, it has an FPGA, that is okay, it's a high-end processor, high-end PC, but it has an IP address. So we can detect the target with the help of that particular IP address. So you'll go to the file tab, go down, add new target. Okay, then it will ask you for an IP address. You give the IP address, then you press on ping. Once you press on ping, it will give you the details of the target. That is, what is the processing speed, what are the number of cores activated, what are the kernel version you have, like kernel version of the operating system that you have inside the target. So all these details will be displayed. Now If the target is not connected to your host PC, then you will be finding an error. So that error is displayed below. Like it is showing target is down. If target is down, that means it is not properly connected. There is some connection issue. So you have to go back and check your connection. Next, like these are the various options. Okay, the starting, how to start RTLab, how to add model, how to create target. Now, coming to the actual process. As I said, once you add the model, RTLab will be acting as an interface between your MATLAB model and your real-time target. It will help you create the executable C code. So the first step after adding your model is like go and build your model, right? So once you add your model, okay, the view we had something called as editor tab on the right hand side top of the RTLab window. So that editor tab will show you all these options like build the model. So what does happen actually while building the model? So while building the model, it will actually select the development platform. The development platform is nothing but a real-time target that is running on RTOS, the real-time operating system, which can be Linux or QNX. Okay, so now it will identify it, the target platform. The next is model separation. So I'll come to this model separation in the next session. So let's just understand the different steps. Okay, model separation, then generating the C code as I said, then transferring the generated C code to the target, then transferring the entire build model. Okay, now so you can actually see this. There was another tab below called as view tab. Okay, on the view tab you can actually see all these processes. If you see over here, it is written like the current MATLAB platform is this, current RTLab platform is this, current Windows platform is this. Okay, all these details will be displayed. You can see like it will be written generating C codes, transferring the C files. All these details will be visible on the view tab available on the RTLab window. So once all this is done, the next step is like assigning subsystems. Okay, so in the previous step only I told you about something called as model separation. So there is a particular architecture we need to build our Simulink models to make it compatible with the real-time simulator of OpenRT. So we'll discuss about this step again in the next session. But just for information, assign subsystems is required whenever you have a very complex model and you want to allocate part of that model to different cores. As I said, this processor has multiple cores. You can actually allocate different tasks to all different cores, okay, and perform parallel simulation. So we'll discuss about that in the next session, but just for understanding, this is the second step after building the model. Now, next step is like load and execute the model. So load and execute the model means what? Like your model will be actually locked to a particular core. For example, all the four cores are activated. You have assigned that model to a particular core, okay, and you have pressed on load button. So what will happen? That model will get locked with the processor core. Now another user, if they want to use, they will have to reset the model first, then go back and execute the model. Okay, so till building process, multiple users can use the simulator, right? And when it comes to loading the model, since while we load the model, the core of the processor get locked with the model, so only one user can use this model at one time. So the next step is loading the model. That means the processor core has got locked with the model. Now we can start actually the execution. Once you start execution of the model, the MATLAB model will actually pop up. Okay, so you can actually see the MATLAB model over here, and you can actually make changes on the fly while execution is happening. Okay, so if you see over here, so this window will open up and it's written on the top like RTLab like opens automatically this window. Okay, so here you can actually visualize the results. You can change parameters which you want to tune. Okay, then there are various other things like insertion of fault, removal of an means opening of a circuit breaker. All these commands can be given from here. So we'll be discussing all about the operation that can be performed in this particular window in the next session. But as of now, like just have an understanding that once we press on execute button, that particular MATLAB model you will get access into, so that you can change the parameters on the fly. So the summary of this entire session will be like about the RTLab software. So the RTLab software, you can install it on your PC, open it from means once you open it, open MATLAB from it, so that all the libraries will get installed inside the MATLAB. Then you can add your model in RTLab, edit the model from RTLab, build the model, load the model, and execute the model. Okay, so this is all about the software architecture. Next, we will be discussing about the Simulink platform. Like as I said, like in the building process, we have something called as separation of the subsystem or assigning subsystem to the target. So all this we'll be discussing in the next session. So thank you. See you soon.